Welcome to More Money Friday. Today is Friday, of course, and that's why we're doing another episode. Today we're talking about hard money loans, hard money 101. I got my good friend Ejiro. Ejiro and me actually met, 2 years, 3 years now, Ejiro? How long have we known each other?
2.5 years, I'll say, a little bit more.
2.5 years, and at the time, Ejiro was always telling me about hard money loans. Malcolm, you got to start using them, and I was flipping houses, but I never actually dealt with the hard money side. And then Ejiro was like, Malcolm, this is the game. He's very knowledgeable, and he's very willing to show you how to do it and utilize it to create a better portfolio and a better real estate. And Ejiro always tells me, Malcolm, why use your own money when I can get you someone to give it to you? So today, guys, meet Ejiro. And Ejiro, tell us a little bit about yourselves.
How you doing, guys? Malcolm, thanks a lot for having me on. A little bit about me. I'm a hard money lender. Originally, I am an investor. I did many types of investing, from tech to real estate to healthcare. And now I'm in the financial sector of giving people money to do real estate, empowering other people to grow their portfolio while leveraging a little bit of their money. So I'm in the business of making money from money, and I guess that's how I met you.
Exactly. So, Ejiro, let's start from memory lane. Tell us about, I know you said you got into tech, you got into a lot of different investments. How did you get started in investments? How did you get started in real estate? Tell us your timeline.
Well, real estate is a long time. The first house I bought was 2007. A little bit out of college. I started doing web development, graphics design, websites, music videos, and
Who did you work with? Give us a little insight of who. Come on, Ejiro, dive deep. You know what I'm reaching for. Give it to me.
Well, I did some back end work for Fabulous and other celebrities like that. I did a lot of graphics designs for other artists. Did a lot of stuff for DJs in the Brooklyn area. DJ Nori, the whole Massive B crew. Massive B crew. So that was way back in another life when MySpace ruled the world. I also started by doing MySpace. We actually were the first firm to turn MySpace pages into websites. Like everybody was like, I want a cool MySpace page, and we coded it out so it looked very unique. And then of course the market crashed, and everybody had to pivot. So I jumped into consulting, and then investing. So that's how it started for me. And then I guess in 2012, 2013, people started saying, I have a deal. How much money you have? I was like, how much money you have? And we started doing real estate then. So that's how it started.
Ejiro, you look very young, so please tell us how someone so young. You don't have to tell us your age. I'm not diving that deep, but please tell us how someone like that got into creating a fund.
Dude, I'm 37. Don't be fooled, black don't crack. But but it's really, just a vision of, we all start with, oh, I know somebody who knows somebody, okay, right? And then you bridge the two. You become a consultant. So in the world of being a consultant, I was customarily putting one person to another person. After a while, I started seeing, like, instead of just, putting people together, why don't I be more than the conduit? Everybody's looking for money. Everybody is like, trying to do these things. So for me, it was like, as it pertains to real estate, it would have been just me actually buying the property and then selling it to the next person. But then that leveraged too much capital. Then I decided how about I lend this person the money to buy it from this person? So, I try and streamline the process with that. So I started by, talking to various different peoples, and high net worth individuals. I come with some capital myself. They come with more capital. And before you know it, we have access to lines of credit. Then when you have access to lines of credit, people you can
Whoa, Edjo, you dropping some gems. We only 5 minutes in, and you dropping gems. We're supposed to be talking about hard money loan. Edjo is telling you guys how to actually create your own bank. That's what you're telling them, Edjo.
No. I'm not telling
you. Episode. Edjo, you're giving too much. This is too early. It's only 5 minutes in. These people are like, wait, they're gonna be taking down notes. Like, okay, well, this is step one.
What's the name of the bank? Brooklyn Funding Group.
That's it. So you created your own fund with your capital, other people's capital, and then you decided, okay, I'm going to lend money. Why did you focus on real estate to lend money?
Real estate is the easiest, one of the easiest things to do it because there's actual collateral.
Okay.
You know, it's safer. It's a safe investment. There are mechanisms in place that limit my exposure. You know, if I was lending to just a regular business and the business goes up, I'm just out of luck. But real estate holds its value. So if I lend to a business on real estate, you know, the actual collateral is there. And if they go belly up, the property's still there. Even if the property burns down, like there's insurance on the property that we make every borrower take out that cover the amount of money that I've lent them. So at least, you know, I cover it.
So from the bank's perspective, real estate is a safer investment versus just doing a business transaction or loaning to someone trying to expand their business or something like that. Is that what you're saying?
Well, yes and no. Because if I lend money to a business without collateral, then of course real estate is better because it's collateral. But there are certain businesses that when you lend to them, there are collateral. They could have expensive machinery. Like if it's like a Medi Spa or something like that, they may have like $1 million worth of equipment that I will probably be like, let me leverage that or let me hold some of that, you know, like do a UCC filing on it so I can make sure if anything happens, I'll just sell the equipment.
Wait, say that again. What did you call it?
It's a UCC filing. It's a filing on equipment.
Okay. See, I had teaching new things. I didn't even know about that at all. So I'm guessing we've never had this discussion before, but do you actually do those for equipment and stuff like that? Or do you focus only on real estate?
I focus only on real estate. The equipment thing is just out of my
scope of expertise, or you just haven't done it yet?
I haven't done it yet. I'm going to expand to everything. Real estate is first, you know. I'm trying to catch it all, Pokemon up here.
You gotta catch them all.
So that's what we're trying to do. Eventually, first step is to empower the community. Try and get as many people onto real estate as possible because you know, buying a house and flipping it is so far-fetched to certain people. You know, even myself, before I started doing this, I was leveraging all of my money. May have had a partner. They're leveraging all of their money. We're both leveraging all our money, biting our fingernails like, oh my goodness, I hope we can get this done quick so I can pay the mortgage or I can do XYZ. You know, so when you start to realize that, you know, there aren't people that knock on people's doors with a bag of money saying, let me buy your house. That's a myth. I mean, there are certain people that do that, but it's very few and far between. There's this person that's holding the bag called a hard money lender who's been there the entire time, unbeknownst to us people. So when I figured that out, I was just like, I'm telling any and everybody, and that's why you, Malcolm, I've been telling you, dude, you need to, you know, let me fund you. You need to, you know, let me teach you. Let me show you how easy it is. We're not loan sharks.
I think you have a misreputation when you take on debt. Like, oh my God, they're going to be there. They're going to be knocking at your door. Where's my money at? I need my money now. Like that injury firm. I need my money now.
I have a settlement and I need cash now. Yeah. No, it is a bad misconception. It's no more risky than the regular bank, except, you know, the terms are shorter. We're talking short-term loans. We're talking interest-only loans. If we're doing long-term loans, then of course we're doing stated loans, but everything still goes through the same sort of like foreclosure process. If there's an issue, it is easier to rectify missed payments on hard money because it is a business. But 9 times out of 10, we're not talking about mom and pop who lost their job,
Mm-hmm.
or these are investors who are used to flipping or are going into flipping. So we would have sourced out monies for interest only payments ahead of time. So we mitigate a lot of the loss, and we vet.
Edjo, you're going way too advanced. Well, this is 101. You're talking 102, 201. So
Oh my goodness.
break it down because a lot of people here don't really understand what harmony is.
Okay, so let me break down
um,
simply.
Yes. Before you do that, though, there is one question that just popped up from YouTube. Can you see it?
Would his group consider storage facility as a commercial real estate investment? Storage facilities are tougher in this day and age, but I would consider it. I consider anything if it makes sense. I got to see how long the business has been in existence, how big the facility is, what's the value of the property versus how much money they're willing to. I don't know if this is a purchase or refi. So there's a couple of things.
I think I actually know him. He was on episode 11. I think he wants to purchase his own or set one up.
Well, I'm only on the actual property, not the business.
Mm-hmm.
So if the building is worth something, then that's where we go. Like sometimes there are things that the value of the bones is just such that I'll take on an endeavor like that, something that I'm not accustomed to taking on. I haven't taken on a storage facility, but if it's a building that's just worth, I don't know, millions of dollars, and you want to leverage that by turning it into whatever you want to turn it into, then that's so be it. I'd consider
you. Edjo's very creative when it comes to financing. So most deals that you bring to him, he'll let you know like 90% of the deals I've seen, well 95, maybe 98% of deals that Edjo's been done, it's been very creative. Like even the one that we're trying to do that I was trying to use Edjo for. Oh, Edjo, I do have another deal for you, by the way, that I'm looking at. So maybe we can actually discuss that now so people can get an idea of what hard money loan is, and you can step by step, baby steps, Edjo.
Yep.
But Edjo's very intelligent, but I need him to take it slow.
I'm pretty dumb. So first of all, hard money is an alternative to traditional financing, i.e., a bank. This is private investment capital, and we lend to corporations or businesses. We're held by different rules from a traditional bank, whereas a bank lends to a person, lends to John Doe or Jane Doe.
Yes. Person, 30 years, 15 years, we like that. It's traditional. So when you say hard money, he means it's outside of the norm. So technically the money is not really hard, but you're going to pay a little bit more because you're not going the traditional route. But it has benefits, and that's what Edjo is explaining.
Yeah, I don't like the term hard money. I like private investment capital. Seems a little like high level.
That sounds very elite too. When you say private, I feel like I need to put a shirt and tie on. Like my normal shirt isn't good enough for that kind of language right now.
And that t-shirts are
right there.
T-shirts are cool. But now the difference is, why would somebody come to a hard money lender? There's various different reasons. If you want to get into, number one reason is credit score. That's the number one reason. Why would somebody come to a hard money guy versus the bank? They can tell you, one, my credit score is too low. I'll tell them, I don't care. I'm looking at the asset is what's important.
Why don't you care about the credit score? You're not worried that they're not going to make payments or something like that?
I'm not worried that they're not going to make payments because there's enough value in the actual real estate. Now,
okay. So you're not lending on everything then, because if I found a house that, say for example, I'm looking at a property now in Connecticut. Well, the one that we missed, the house was valued, the estimated after repair value was $250, $260. And I say, hey Edjo, I want to buy this house. My credit shot. The house is worth $260. They want me to buy it for $250. Is that something that I can bring to you?
Absolutely not. So I mean, you can bring anything to me, but I wouldn't lend on that. So how I would lend, I would say, okay, if you really want it and you really believe in it, you have to tell me why. It may be a situation where the house is worth 260, but I have this lease that says they're going to pay $5,000 because it looks like Little House on the Prairie to them, right? And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. But then I'll turn around and say, okay, I'll lend on that, but you're gonna have to put down like 30% to mitigate my risk in it. You know,
So on
like
average, you guys usually lend to about 75, 80% of the house or less.
so if it's a long-term money and it's stated, and we didn't get into that yet, but if it's a long-term hard money loan, um, on a purchase, we'll lend up to 80%.
Okay, so when
If
he
it
says long term means anything over what, 2 years?
anything over 2 years, yeah.
Anything over 2 years is considered long term. So short term money means two and under. So
Yep.
that's the big difference.
Mhm.
Now,
So number two, right? Number two would be DTI or income. You know, I don't have a job, or I work off the books, or I don't make enough money that I can't go to a bank. The bank will never, even though it's a great deal, I have great credit, but I have too much debt. I don't care about your debt. It has nothing to do with it.
DTI is debt to income ratio. So he's
Mhm.
saying that if hard money or private financings, they do not care about your personal debt. They're more worried about the assets. So he cares about what is this real estate worth? How much are you getting for it? And how much can I sell it in case you mess up? I need to know how much I can get liquidated. The whole point of this is to mitigate his losses because he's privately lending his own money. So he's the bank. So he creates the rules.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
one of the major differences. But Edjo, I have more questions for you, but we're going to go a quick commercial break. All right.
Okay.
So we did miss a question. I'm going to put it here before we go.
Mhm.
They said, "How are you trying to do that?" This was in regards to you say educate the community.
Mhm.
So would you want to answer that now or later?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I can answer that now. How am I trying to do that? As many conversations and podcasts and hands that I shake, um, each one reach one, one at a time. I've done events. I've sat on panels. Um, I tell my frat brothers. I tell people in the neighborhood. Um, and as Malcolm said earlier, like I've just been in his ear. Like, dude, this is what you need to do.
So he's trying to give knowledge so more people can start utilizing hard money loan. And one of the best things, I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but you can really 10x your business. For example, when you do hard money loans, right? You have to, let's say you don't do a hard money loan. Let's say you decide, hey, I'm going to buy this property all cash. I'm going to use all my money. You only have a limited amount of funds. So you can only do a limited amount of properties or projects.
Absolutely.
Versus if you take that, say you have $100,000 and you started putting out one house, Edjo comes by and says, "Hey, I'll lend you the rest of the money, the other 90,000. Why don't you take your 100,000 and do 10 other properties?" So that's 10,000 on every deal. So now you have 10 deals versus putting that all on one deal. What does that mean for you? You create your net worth is jumping. You're increasing your net worth. And that's why it's so important to understand how hard money loans work, because you can create more financial freedom. You can create a better income for you, yourself, your family, your legacy. And that's what Edjo's trying to do. So that's why it's so important for us to really understand this. And I feel like a lot of people of minorities, we don't utilize this loan or this process, because it's not really a loan, but we don't utilize this program or this type of knowledge efficiently. So Edjo is, when I mean he knows this stuff like the back of his hand, this man is insane with this stuff. He teaches me things like, wow, Edjo, I didn't know you could do that. Like one of the things that he mentions a lot is there's a way, instead of making the payments on the hard money loan, he can put it inside the loan. So every month when you have to pay your mortgage, like the same way you do that for the hard money loan, instead of you having to pay it, it's already covered.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's called escrowed payments. There's certain times that we can escrow an allotment of payments. So it's like We may put 6 months in an escrow payment. So for 6 months, you're not even thinking about it, and hopefully in 6 months your project is done. Malcolm does about he averages 3 months on his project, so he doesn't even need the 6 months. And after 6 months, he'll get the remainder of the money back, or when he sells it, that's deducted from the price of his payback. So just to recap, first issue is credit score. Low credit score, we accept it, we don't care. Number two, it's income or debt to income. I'm not seeing W-2s. I don't need your taxes. I'm not the IRS. I don't want that. It may be an issue if you owe the IRS, because now if we want to try and get the house back and you owe the IRS money, then they're going to take the money first. So that may be a little bit of the issue, but that's few and far between. Now it brings us to one of the last ones. We're quick. It's quick. As an investor, you see a house, you want to make an offer on it. So do other investors. So do other people. Now, if you're coming with a traditional bank, and Malcolm knows this, traditional bank can close 45 days. 45
60.
45 to 60 days. Now, if they love your offer, you're offering them $15,000 above asking, but you're coming to them with a 30-day close, and I come with them asking for 10,000 below their asking, and I say I can close in 2 weeks. Who are they coming to?
Closing in 2 weeks.
They're closing in 2 weeks. They're just thinking about it. Some people just want their money for whatever reasons quicker. So for you to be a viable person, everything else may be good. You may have the income, you credit score. You may be like, I'm good. I got pre-approval from Chase, but it's gonna take you 60 days. It sucks. So you might want to come to me for a loan to secure the property, and then you refinance out of it later. So
that's another thing we'll talk about. I feel like we're definitely gonna have to do a little segment on this, and the reason why I'm bringing Ejiro on and doing all this is because I started doing hard money loans with Brooklyn Funding now. So I really want to make sure everyone's educated and they understand the process, because one, the better you understand it, the more you'll want to use it. But two, you also understand how to protect yourself so you don't have to. Because no hard money lender wants to actually take the house from you. Like, that's a misconception.
That's not what we want. We make money from money, not for houses. We don't want to become the landlord.
So the better you understand it, the more you'll utilize it. Someone had a quick question. This is jumping ahead, but if you don't mind answering, or at least giving a range.
So it depends on long-term loans. We're slightly higher than obviously the national interest rate. National interest rate, help me with this, Malcolm, was 3%.
Yeah, right now it's about 3.
We start at 4%. That's what we do. So from 4 to about, I don't know, like 6% is long-term loans. That's just what it is. For fix and flip loans, anywhere between 7.25% to about, I like to say 18%. Not that it's 18%, but literally somebody can come to me with a 500 credit score and say, listen, I co-signed for my entire family and they screwed me up. And I'm like, okay, I have a lot of money in the bank. I'm like, okay. Might be a riskier investment, but I'll still take the loan, but I'll give him a higher interest rate. So he might be at a 13%. But typically the sweet spot is around 10% for interest-only payments for fix and flip.
Now, with fix and flips, you say interest only. Can you explain what the interest-only payments actually mean?
If you have a loan amount for $120,000, right, and your interest, your rate is 10%, you're only going to be paying what, $1,000 a month. That's just what interest, because you're only paying interest on it. So if you pay, if the payment is $120,000, you're only paying for the life of the loan for as long as you have it. If you have it for 6 months, you pay $3,000. I mean, 6 months is $6,000. If you have it for 12 months, you paid a full 10%, which would have been $12,000. Now, a regular mortgage or a long-term mortgage is interest, principal, taxes. It's everything rolled into one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't do that. We just like, just get in, pay us the interest only, and then when you sell a house, it's a balloon payment, and we'll just take care of the loan. We'll take our money back, and you take the proceeds or the net profits.
So I'm going to explain that again a little bit slower. So what he's saying is hard money loans, private lending, they do interest only, versus with a bank, it's called P&I, principal, interest, and insurance. and then obviously taxes. So that is included in your payment, but they don't pay taxes for you. They're not paying your insurance for you. You have to pay that out before you even talk to them, and it's not principal. You can't lower the amount that you owe. They want their money within whatever the time frame is. If you have a year loan, at the end of the year or before the year, they want all their money.
Yep.
So you have to pay every month. You have to make what's called interest-only payments, just paying the interest that's covered. Now, the difference is it's a balloon payment, meaning whenever you pay, I don't care if it's 6 months, it could be literally 30 days into it, you owe them their entire payment because that's how they calculate their payments. They calculate for the life of the loan. So if you close it quicker or whatever, you're like, hey, no, I closed it. It's only been a month. You shouldn't charge me. They don't care. They still want their entire money. So that's what you need to understand.
Yeah.
Someone said you're not making a profit off of that. Well, do you want to explain how the bank actually makes money off of it, or the private?
So we do make a profit, even however little. We won't be making as much profit. If you pay it off earlier, okay, we won't get our full 10%. But we made some money. We made a little bit of money. It's $3,000 plus. There are other fees. There are like lender fees that we charge. It might be 2 points, 1 point. So we're making a profit. We're not trying to take really dig into the investor's profit, but we do charge a profit. Same way that Chase Bank, the interest rate is so small at this moment. You're like, how are they making a profit? When somebody might refinance after 2 years, they still made a little bit of money here and there. And in volume, for me as a lender, it makes all the difference. The last thing that I wanted to say about hard money lending, we went through income, we went through credit score, we went through quick closing. The last one is a shell. Like banks don't typically lend on a property that doesn't have running water or electricity or has a big gaping hole in the middle of the house that you can see the basement to the roof. So that's one of the things that we lend on.
That's 100% true. Banks do not. If any property that you buy, it has to be what's considered livable. So if it's not livable, the bank is going to look at you and be like, what are you doing here? Like, you cannot live in it. They want running water. They want the gas on and electricity. It is what it is. That's what the banks require. So for a lot of people, another option to that is to do what's called the private lending. And that's where Ejiro and his team take in. Okay, another question. We're getting a lot of questions tonight, Ejiro.
What happens if you can't pay? I mean, we just take your firstborn. That's it.
That's Rapunzel, right? I think
that's not Rapunzel. Is that Rapunzel? No.
What's that?
It's who's that guy that spins strong to gold? Spin strong to gold.
Yeah, that was Rapunzel. The story where she's stringing along.
No, Rapunzel's with the hair.
I don't know. I'm not doing that Disney.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Yes. No, that was his name, but I was saying what was the movie?
Oh, I don't even know. I don't know. So many movies.
YouTube, TikTok, if you guys are listening, podcast, please slide in the DMs. Let us know what Disney movie that was.
Which one was? So with if they can't pay, they'll come to us with what's going on. If they can't pay, then it would have been like 12 months at this point, and at 12 months, the best thing for them to do is just come to us.
Talk to you.
Yeah, come talk to me. Like, we're human beings. We don't want to take the people's house, as Malcolm said earlier. We'd be like, what's going on? Now, if they're at the point where they're just like, listen, I tried something. There's something, life happens. I can't complete the project. Then they can make a deal. They can come to me and say, hey, listen, I'll give you back the house. I'll give you the house. Hey, what do I sign? I'll deed it back to you. I'll be like, all right. Did it back to me, and
finish the project.
I'll finish the project, or give somebody else the project. But that's pretty much. It's really not. I'm not going to go now. If the person runs away from me, then of course I'm gonna. It's gonna be.
Be careful about running away from him.
No, just talk to us. Let us know what's going on, and then within reason, we'll come to a peaceful resolution.
That's one of the things I like. I've done hard money loans before, and I've used other lenders. And when you have a big lender, you become another number. The same reason why I tell people not to just run the chase, go to a brokerage first, because I know my clients on a first name basis. They're not a loan number. When you call Chase, they be like, "What's your loan number?" They don't even know your name. What's your loan number? To them, you're just a number. And the same thing.
I'm Ejiro. They're like,
yeah.
Who?
Yeah, and it's not even like your name's common where it's like 100 Edros. It's like you're just another number. They really don't care. And when you deal with a smaller firm, now when I mean smaller, it means it's more of a family. It's tight knit. I can go to the office. I can call Edro, say, "Hey, Edro, I have a question." That's what you want to deal with. Not meaning small like they don't have funds. How much money do you can actually lend up to?
For now, 50 million.
$50 million. I don't consider that small at all. If you do, please let me know where you know that have $50 million just lying.
We're small compared to other firms, but yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, so I like that personal relationship. As you guys know, especially if you're watching this or listening to the podcast, I'm all about relationships, and this is why I tell you guys, build relationships, learn your hard money, go to someone and constantly use them, because that's how you get better rates and better deals. Because, absolutely. Like, for example, Joe, please tell me if I'm getting too personal. Xavier and I shared this on episode 11. I told you guys we were looking at a property in Connecticut, and I didn't want to use all my money. Xavier didn't want to use his money, and I was like, "Damn, we're gonna have to do a hard money lending or whatever." And I called Edro. I was like, "Edro, I got a deal. I don't want to put down 20%. Edro, I just don't want to do it. I only want to do 10. Interest only payments. Can you work for me?" He said, "No problem." Within not even 24 hours, I kid you guys, it must have been less than 8 hours, 6 hours or something like that. He had me a pre-approval with the name of the company and everything in my email. Say, "Malcolm, go put your offer in." Like that. And the only reason that was possible was because we built that relationship.
That's true.
So I want you guys to understand the power of relationships and having people in your corner to make things work.
I remember that night. You were like, "I don't want to put down 25%. And I was like, "Malcolm, you'll put down 10%. He was like, "Really?" It's like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah, come on, don't worry about it. You're on the team."
It was that simple, and that's who you need to have. That's why I wanted to bring him on. We're actually going to do a lot more of these. I feel like we'll probably do another 2 or 3 episodes. Edro, you're going to need a whiteboard, or we'll have to do it at the office so you could break down the actual numbers, because I feel like a lot of people want to see the numbers. They want to understand it more. If that's something that you guys want, YouTube, Facebook, please put in the comment section. Let us know. Edro, will you be down to do another one of these? Is it something?
Definitely. We could actually go through a few scenarios for a couple of people to break it down. Simple scenarios.
Oh, I love it. I love it. We have more questions. Oh, before we do the more questions, I'm going to go on another commercial break. Bear with me. TikTok, if you're only getting a part of this because you guys are not on YouTube, YouTube gets the full version. And the same thing with my podcast. If you listen to the podcast, you can't answer your questions because you're not watching it live. You have to see Edro's face, see the emotions, see the caring and the love that he brings to this table. All right, quick commercial break. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Whether you're going to purchase a house, refi, reverse mortgage, or need an investment property, the real Mr. Marcel can do it all. We help you succeed. We help you break generational curse. Come to someone who cares. Come to the real Mr. Marcel, aka your favorite loan officer. Welcome back to the More Money Friday podcast. I am the host, the real Mr. Marcel, and I have my great friend Ejiro, aka Brooklyn Funding Group here. And yes, they're putting it. They said, "Let's see the numbers." They want to see the numbers. I'm telling you, I knew they was gonna ask for the numbers, Ejiro. So we'll definitely have to do more about this. Hold on. Wow, we got a lot of questions coming up. All right. Hold on. There's another one.
What's at brooklynfundinggroup.com? Well, at Brooklyn Funding Group on Instagram, brooklynfundinggroup.com on the website.
All right. Here's another question.
Before considering private lending, make sure you have an exit strategy. In real estate, typically multiple. Yeah, definitely. That's actually one of the questions that we ask people. What are you doing with this property? What's your exit strategy? And the exit strategy is one of 2 things: sell, refi. If you're going to refi, I make sure that I do the numbers so it's at market refi rate.
Wait.
And
Say that again. You also do the numbers, so not only are they getting you to fund them, you're also making sure that their numbers and their homework is correct.
it's correct
They're
because
gonna
if I
free mentor.
yeah because if I give them a loan, I make sure that I can get them out of the loan on a refi for a long term. If they can't go somewhere else, like, all right, don't tell me you can't refi. I already didn't have you pre-approved from day one.
All right, we got another question.
What about lending to open a business? Well, I haven't gotten into business loans yet or startup loans yet. That is something that I've been thinking about. You know, Malcolm has spoken to me about that a few times. So we don't do that yet, but something that I'm considering.
Okay, and let's get back to it. All right, so Edjo, you gave us the pretty much the 5 reasons on why hard money loans are so attractive, but what are the downsides to hard money loans?
Downsides to hard money loans: high interest rate. That's number
Mhm.
one. It's high interest rate. Number two, non-owner occupied. Majority of hard money loans are not owner occupied. So it's not for the mom and pop who's trying to have a starter home and they're like, all right, I can't get it at the bank. We do have some savings. Let's get a hard money loan. No, it's not for that. It's This is an investor tool. It's for investors, for people to rent this and create passive income for themselves or flip it and create, income for themselves. So that's it. And number two, it's interest only payments. So you're not paying down the principal. Um, so it's going to be a balloon payment on the fix and flip side. Um, on the on the long term side, you're putting down more money. You're putting down about 20%. So you have to have more capital as opposed to FHA and conventional where you put down 3.5% to 5%, maybe even 10%. You have to put down 20% for long term money. That's just what it is. So those are the cons associated with hard money lending.
I like that. I like that. It's not like it doesn't seem like you're trying to sell me this product. You're like, I'm informing you. This is the pros. These are the cons, and this is why it might work or it might not work for you.
Mhm.
So if you are looking to actually live in this property or something like that, this is not the type of loan for you. But
Nope.
if you're looking to grow your investment portfolio and
Hmm.
you don't want to touch your own savings, you want to build something else and utilize, maybe you have more money, better credit, or utilize other things like that. This is what we called other people's money, OPM.
Yep. Yep.
And
Now, the first thing I say to people is like when they come to me, I'm like, can you not go to a bank? And if they cite one of the reasons that I cited for doing it, then I'm just like, okay, go ahead. But other than that, it's just like it's a great tool. Now, money costs money. So it's not a tremendous amount, and we will run down the numbers on another episode of More Money Friday. But it does cost. Now, you can leverage it and say to yourself, or rationalize it and say to yourself, okay, I can spend all of my $100,000 on this one property, or I can do that. And like, let's say that $100,000 makes you 40 grand. That's your net profit. 40 grand. I spent $100,000. I made 40 grand plus my $100,000 back. I'm happy, right? That takes you 6 months to do, as opposed to you doing that 3 times. And 3 times 4 is what? 12, 120. You make
even if it's
120.
not even if it's not 40, let's say for some crazy reason everything comes out to 10, you only make 30,000 on all three. That's still $90,000.
$90,000. Now, for me, it probably the cost of the money is probably, let's call it 3 grand. So each. So the $90,000 cost you $9,000 for this loan. So you're just like, all right, it did cost me $9,000, but I just made 57,000 more dollars by going with hard money than I did just using my own capital.
Yes, 100%. So it's leveraging other people's money. You could get more done at the same amount of time because now your money's not tied up. So you could look at other um, other projects, other investments, and the biggest thing is how fast you can turn over the money. You putting it all on one project, it slows you down because when other projects line up, you can't attack them because you don't have capital. Capital is very limited. Yep. Okay, now we have more questions.
Hard money loan, is it only used for homes? No, it could be for buildings. It could be for retail space. It could be for many different types of real estate, but it just has to be real estate.
That's what we focus on.
Mm-hmm.
If you're tuning in now, thank you for now tuning in. This is the More Money Friday podcast. As you know, every Friday, I want to teach you guys how to create more money instead of spending it. Instead of going out and spending that check this Friday because you got paid, learn how to invest it in something. And this is utilizing your money that you get. Let's utilize your money and leverage it to create more money. So, for example, you came to the table, you're looking to purchase a new property. You have, all right, I got $10,000 saved. $10,000 is not enough to flip a house. Not enough. I'm sorry to crush any dreams. Any YouTube people lying to you guys, $10,000 is not enough. I don't care what you say. I don't even care if the house is only $40,000. $10,000 is not enough because you have repairs, you have closing costs, and then even when you sell it, you have closing costs again. A lot of people forget about that, Ejiro. Is it just me or people forget that you have to sell it too? Right?
People don't realize that until they go to a real estate agent and the real estate agent says, hey, it's going to cost you 6%. I'm like, 6%? Oh my God. I thought I was walking away with $25,000. Now I'm walking away with 18 or 15,
Exactly. So you're going to need more money. So when a hard money lender, what they do is they allow you to say, all right, you have 10,000. Here, I'll only take 5,000. Keep the other 5,000 for closing costs, other mistakes that are gonna happen or pop up, errors. It always happens on every deal, right? Remember, Ejiro, side note, we were looking at another deal. I was looking at new construction, and Ejiro was like, be very careful with that. I was like, what are you talking about, Ejiro? He was like, Malcolm, I'm doing 2 of them now. There's always something that goes wrong. I was like, we're gonna do it from the scratch. He's like, yeah. Wait, you think it's gonna be scratched, and then you're gonna find out that pipe was leaking, the whole plumbing is garbage, you gotta redo. He's like, new construction is a whole new animal. Yeah. So I have not done that yet. I'm staying away from new construction for now.
But I'll fund you on the new construction. I'm just saying, you just gotta be realistic. Don't try to just jump in the water and think that you're just gonna new construct. Go do some flips first, build your capital, so you won't be worried about that project. Because new construction can go anywhere from 6 to 18 months. And you may not want to be in the project that long, so make sure you have enough capital.
I was definitely saying, yeah, the contractor said he could do this in 6 months. Ejiro was like, you sure? New construction? Nah, I'm telling you, it's gonna be longer than that. I was like, really?
So the plans and permits might take 2 to 3 months itself.
Yeah, exactly. He was like, Ejiro definitely gave me a little lesson on that. Like, Malcolm, go back to the drawing board real quick. But that is some of the benefits of using hard money loans. We have more questions.
Oh yeah, we do. We haven't done it in Hawaii yet, and I can do it in Hawaii, but there's this thing called it's called lava zones. If it's in a lava zone, I don't know if anybody is from Hawaii. What's a lava zone? I'm assuming it's where lava flows.
That's crazy. Is your property in a lava zone? Like,
when I heard that, I was just like, oh, I did not know that. Okay.
Have you done Puerto Rico yet?
I haven't done Puerto Rico. Only continental U.S.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Ejiro, so I'm going to throw a scenario at you. This is not full breakdown, guys, because we do not have the whiteboard. We'll have to do that in person. So I can flip the camera around, have Ejiro write down all the facts. Maybe we should have Shari there because her handwriting is better than yours.
I do have chicken scratch in my
we want the people to actually be able to read what you're writing.
They're gonna be like, is that hieroglyphics? Is that?
They'll be like, turn that. Oh yeah, I kind of see the 1 0. I think. But so another scenario that we are actually looking at. This is it's going to be 3 partners, Xavier, me, and my other partner Bueno. Mm-hmm. We're looking at turning us a 2-family into a 3-family. We already spoke to the town. We were trying to do a 4 or 6-family, but the town said due to the limited parking, they want to permit it. So they did grant us access to do a 3-family. So for rehab, I'm gonna go see it June 11th. Might do a live when we do that, but it's probably going to cost us about 100,000. Right?
Okay.
Xavier, if you're still on this, please give me some notes if I'm misspeaking or something like that. Please let me know. This is a real property, guys. I'm not bullshitting. We're not just creating thin air projects right now.
Yeah.
Ejiro will be doing the funding for it, so we will be documenting that also. So hopefully that's a little cool for you guys to see how it is on the other side of the table.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to need at least 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
We're still debating on the purchase price, but I'm going to estimate maybe 250,000, 300.
Mm-hmm.
Now the ARV of the property is going to be around 550, 600.
Okay. So the first thing that I'll do right now, I'd be like, okay, Malcolm does quite a bit of flipping. I'll give him 75% LTV. That means 75% of the value, which he said was $600, would be, let's go, that would be $450,000. So I am willing to lend him $450,000 for this property. Now, if he buys a property for 250, let's say, so to speak, 250, I'll lend him 90% of the 250. So I'm at 90% LTC. These are terms that you have to use. So that's loan to cost. So 90% of that that's 225. So I will lend him 225, which means that he only has to put down $25,000. So he'll put down $25,000. Now, I said I'll lend him up to 450. So if his loan amount is 225, that means he has about $220,000 to play with. Now he said he only needs $100,000, but like if he gets there, like if I give him a pre-approval and he only told me he wanted $100,000 and he goes, listen, I didn't know it looked like this. I need $200,000. I'd be like, bro, you have $124,000 more to play with. Go ahead. And that's how we do it. Now I'd probably charge him a lower percentage. I won't tell you what I'll charge him because it's Malcolm.
Someone definitely asked too. Look. They was waiting for that. They was like, I'm gonna have this nice already. Okay, Xavier's still on, so he started answering some questions. All right, so hold on, let me add him. No, you're right. When it comes down to repairs, the ARV will be okay. So ARV will not be 500. Will not be 5-6 or more. Like the purchase price is 220. Repairs 80, 90. Okay, so that's the scenario.
ARV would be 380. All right, so if ARV is 380, let's work backwards. 380. I'll still give you 75%, so I can lend you up to 285.
Okay.
If it's 285, and you're saying that you want, let's call it, the purchase price is 220. I'll subtract 10% from that. 198 minus 285. So
on a live property. This is real time. Xavier is one of my partners on the property, and this is happening in. I'm sorry, Joe. Do your numbers. I'm just telling people, let them know. Like, guys, this is a behind the scenes. This is how he calculates the numbers. You don't get to see this unless you have that relationship with your harmony lender, because they don't tell you. They'll just be like, no, I can't do the deal. They don't give you an explanation. They don't tell you anything. So, guys, Hustle Tribe, you are getting a really good behind the scenes right now, seeing how one of the masters calculate their money.
So now I'll tell Malcolm, I was like, listen, these numbers work. If it's a 380 ARV, I can give you $87,000 for rehab. Now I would say, I know you said 80 to 90. Do you need 90? If you need 90, you got to come up with $3,000 to do it. So now we go back and forth, and he'll look at his numbers and he goes, all right, yes or no. Let's say I can only have given him 87 and he needed $100,000 or $120,000. I'd be like, Malcolm, it's not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it. He could also just come with the balance of the money and do it himself. I give him the 87 and he puts in the other $40,000. I would still tell him, dude, don't do it. I don't think it's profitable at that point. So
Well, the good news is this is going to be a buy and hold, so I'm not really flipping it. So that's another different thing. We're looking at the long term. The rental income for the property makes very good sense. We're looking at Xavier. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I think we said the 4 bedroom or 3 bedroom we're getting about 1800, something like that. Xavier, if you're still watching, please let me know if I'm right. So it turns out by three, not doing bad, not doing too bad.
Okay. Okay. So I mean that one. So that would change my mind. I will go. Okay, I get it. Makes sense. Do it, and I'll be more comfortable. Like, oh, you're holding it. These are the rents. Makes total sense to me.
So the ARV would have been possible if we would have been able to turn it to 4 to 6. Yeah, I'm disappointed. But the good news is that, like Edjo said, we're able to speak with the town. So we already know that, okay, they're not going to prove it. Instead of waiting another 2 months, waiting for it to say, oh, are they going to let us do it?
Okay. Okay.
So I feel like, does that make a lender feel more comfortable knowing that we already started doing our homework? We already got the rental. We already have a property that's not too far away from it, so the management will be the same team. Does that make a lender feel a little more comfortable?
Yeah, it shows me that you have experience in the neighborhood. You know it very well. What would make me even feel more comfortable if you had approved like plans? That would have been like great. Like, really, you have approved plans? Like, that's great. Like, what do I sign? Like,
Okay.
here's
So
my money.
Xavier, go get them plans from the city. let's bring them approved plans, and maybe he might lend us a little bit extra.
True.
Okay, yeah. Look, Xavier's on it. He got the numbers ready.
Oh, those are numbers. Okay. 1939. First of all, that's a weird number. 1939, is that what that says?
Yep, for a 4 bedroom. Section
Okay.
8-2. So you know we guarantee rents.
Guaranteed rents.
And what I love about it is we're getting an area that's gentrified. So it has a Starbucks nearby. You know, it's good when you see a Starbucks coming in. Starbucks and a Chipotle. You're like, oh, yes, we caught it.
and it's still affordable housing. So you're
and
keeping
it's still
your
affordable housing. So, you know,
like that.
so the house is definitely going to be worth a lot more within the next year or so.
Okay.
So that is a property I'm going to do. I'll probably do a mini series. Oh, I like that. That's what we'll do. We'll do a mini series of us acquiring it, Edjo doing the funds, crunching the numbers down. So if you guys are interested in catching that mini series, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. And Edjo's going to be doing some guest appearances, especially now, because you guys obviously love him. They got so many damn questions in this. Look at the chat. There's just mad questions just in there.
One of the things that I'm actually working on right now, and sometimes I have to pull away from work to get this done. I'm creating a calculator, so people like Malcolm.
Please explain.
It's going to be a hard money calculator where you can just type in the purchase price, rehab, everything, all the scenarios that he just told me, including the taxes. Tell you your monthly payment. It'll tell you how much cash you need to close this. It'll tell you your net profit on this, and if it's a great deal.
Wow. Edjo's building.
It's going to be an app. Anybody can download it. It's free.
And it's free.
It's going to be free.
I love this. This is what you were talking about when you're saying you're trying to give back and do more for the community.
Absolutely. For now,
yeah, I agree with you.
Prices skyrocketing already. Yep, it is.
We got to make sure we lock that up quick before we start showing people too much. So Xavier,
okay.
Xavier, please reach out to the town, see if we can get approved plans. I think Edjo definitely said he'll lend us a little bit extra if we could get that. So
absolutely.
Let's work on that. This will be our last commercial break, guys. We still have a little bit more time with Edjo, so if you have any questions, anything like that, please put it in the comment section. We appreciate you for tuning in. I know Friday you want to go out and party, but it's time you learn and increase your net worth instead of partying right now. So Take care of that first. Welcome back. This is the time to ask all of your questions. Anything you have concerning hard money, flipping houses, Edro's willing to willing to answer now. He's taking his time from his busy app. He does a lot of projects. I hope you guys. I want you to realize how busy Edro is. Like I had to call him like 4 times today just to make sure he was still
He
going to
did.
do it.
He did. He did. He did.
Because Edro is so busy. I was like, Edro, did you tell people you was going to be on the podcast? He's like, I've been busy. Social media is not really my thing. I'm just out here grinding. I'm trying to make deals, Malcolm. I'm trying to make deals. So for him to step away to give you guys his undivided attention, he hasn't looked at his phone once. I've been in meetings with this guy, and he's still checking his phone. So he hasn't checked it at all. So I hope you guys really appreciate. He's really here, showing up and trying to give you guys his undivided attention to really help you understand hard money loans. And not only that, he also promised to come back on to show you with a whiteboard series. You know, I love my whiteboards. Mm-hmm. So he's going to break it down with real numbers, actual properties that either he's looking at, someone else is looking at, and go through it so you guys can understand how to utilize hard money loans and how to utilize it correctly. Because I don't want you to misuse it. And then if you don't have a nice broker like Ejiro, they'll come for your house and take it with a smile.
Yep. They definitely will. Definitely will. Well, we touched on I don't see any more questions, but we touched on it. What's hard money? We're an alternative to a bank. We accept lower credit scores. We don't care or check income or taxes or W-2s or pay stubs. We don't. We close very quickly, and we can fund a plot of land. We can fund a hole in the ground.
I didn't know you do land too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because people want to build. You know, if you were to buy a lot, I'll fund you on the lot and new construction.
What about mobile homes? That's a big thing. I'm hearing a lot of people taking a look at, like trailer parks and stuff like that. Has that crossed your palate yet?
Well, it's crossed Brooklyn Funding's palate personally. Like we want to, we probably, invest in that ourselves. Okay. But we haven't, mobile homes are so cheap. You can get a mobile home for like, 15, 20 grand. So it may not be beneficial for us to lend on that. You can put that on a credit card, or a few credit cards. Just swipe for it. And then you get your monthly payment from whoever's renting it. Now, when it comes down to trailer parks, it's like just the land. We probably, finance the land of it for somebody if they have an approved plan to put up a trailer park. And an exit strategy, unless we're doing long-term money,
Which one do you prefer, long-term or short-term? On the banking side of it, not you personally.
Well, it's easier short-term. Short-term. You just keep recycling the same money. Long-term is a little more in depth because I look at things closer. By closer, I re-examine all the numbers of a deal. Like if I'm giving somebody money for a long term, I'm going to see that the rents are good. I'm going to want to see the leases. I'm going to want to make sure they're actually paying because it has to be a stabilized rental. Or if it's a purchase, I'll just take the market rent. If it's a purchase, they may not have renters there, or the renters that they're buying may be leaving. So I can't look at the leases at that point. But I look at the market rent. If the market rent says it's $900, I don't care if you can get 12 from it. I have to use $900, And if the numbers work at $900, then I'm good. If it doesn't, I'll tell you, listen, it doesn't. And that doesn't mean I won't be able to finance it. They're just going to have to put down more money to mitigate my risk.
So you're saying you're willing to look at pretty much almost any deal, but it just has to make sense before you would fund it, whether it's long-term, short-term. You will still fund it, but even if it's like a little bit outside of your comfort zone, as long as they have more money to put down or something like that, you're willing to give it a shot or something like that.
Absolutely. We can make it happen. We get very creative.
Very.
But buying the land for a mobile home is profitable, right? Can be. It can be, or it won't be. Like if you have to advertise your land. You got to get people to want to be there. It's like having an apartment building and nobody knows that you have apartments to rent. So it's like it just all depends on what the owner's doing.
Yeah, it's not going to rent itself. You have to do something. You actually have to have other mobile homes there to make it make sense.
Exactly.
But he's saying he would lend to it, but you would have to do the rest. He's not going to market it for you. He's not going to find you tenants. He's not doing all that.
Mm-hmm.
But he is saying that he might be willing to invest, wink, wink, if someone has a good mobile home idea. I don't know if you guys are paying attention, Hustle Tribe. He definitely said Brooklyn Funding on the personal side might be willing to personally invest in something like that. So it's an easy joint venture project. If you do have a good mobile home looking to expand, just found a good partner who has the capital up to $50 million.
Hey, not all of the capital.
They're going to come back with a mall. Like, you know what, Ejiro? I want to buy this mall. We'll put trailers around it. I want this mall, Ejiro.
Most definitely.
So, if you're listening to on the podcast, we're definitely going to do another another segment. Probably we'll call it Harmony 102, breaking down the numbers. I like that.
Yeah, breaking down the numbers, getting to the nitty-gritty.
You like that, right? That sounds good, right?
I like that. In between the numbers.
In between. We'll definitely have to do it at the office. So you won't see my lovely brick background, guys. I don't know if I'll be able to bring all my lights because it's a lot to carry. But we'll make it work. We'll do it at the office. Ejiro will be there, ready to break down numbers. So if you have any situations, any scenarios that you're looking at, possibilities, start DMing me. Or you can just email Brooklyn Funding Group and send them the Ejiro, and we'll start creating some kind of program, some kind of lesson plan. Like, let's really start teaching people how to understand hard money loans.
Yep.
Things like that.
Okay. And not to be scared of it.
Yes, exactly. And Ejiro is doing this. What I really want you guys to understand is most people who come in, they start trying to teach this stuff, they start asking for money. Ejiro has not asked for a dime. He said, I just want to help people, Malcolm. That's all. So I just want to help them. I want to show them how to do hard money loans, that it's possible, and that it's not as hard as people make it sound. It sounds scary, but once you understand it, it's like, wow, I could have been doing this from the beginning. Like, as long as I'm 18, what?
I'm not selling a course. You don't have to.
No course. I might be having a private Zoom though soon. So I'm not gonna say we're not selling a course, but we might have a private Zoom to go in. We gotta start making some kind of profit. But right now, it's still on YouTube free. So you might enjoy it now.
Enjoy the show.
Enjoy the More Money Podcast show right now. But I really appreciate you coming on, Ejiro. It means a lot that you want to give us and help. If you guys have any other questions, hold it because it's too late. I told you to ask it. I told you to ask it sooner. Y'all took too long. Ejiro's a busy man. I don't want to hold you up any longer. Anything else you want to tell the people, Ejiro?
No, I'm here. You just let me know when you want me to come back on. Anybody have deals or questions about deals that they want funded or they want to be considered, or you just want advice? Brooklyn Funding Group, the IG page, all the contact information is there.
Boom. Oh, look at that advice too. Ejiro's not only willing to fund you, but he's willing to give you mentorship. That's very hard.
I say mentorship. Don't get crazy.
I was trying to sneak it in for you. I was trying to sneak it in. Also tried. I tried. You can't blame me. I tried to get you a free mentor, but he definitely said he would at least look at your deal. So that's a starting point. Just slide in the DMs, let him know, and he'll work with you.
Okay.
Thank you for tuning in. This is More Money Friday. Another episode 12 with your man Ejiro from Brooklyn Funding. If you need any kind of hard money or if you have deals that you want someone to look at, Ejiro's very knowledgeable. I trust him, and he's a good guy. He's not going to just steer you wrong or just try to take your money or be like, here, this is what it is. It's 100%, da-da-da-da. He's not one of those. He's very personable, and he's down to earth, real. He's from Brooklyn. So you gotta, as long as you have no credit cards around him, you're good.
Oh, nah, that's Harlem. That's Harlem.
Oh, it's Harlem. Okay.
All right, bro. I appreciate
you, Ejiro. We appreciate you. And thank you, everyone, for watching and tuning in. That's it.
All right.